Can you just remind me what we talked about last week? This is not miles cubed. I know what I do. I do this, right? So 1 cubic mile is equal to 5,280 cubic feet. Or is that right? No. And so can you make the connection with what we were talking about last week to this week, or is it kind of last week? It's kind of faded. Kind of faded. Yeah, exactly. That's what you do. You remember. How about you? Does everybody remember that from last week? Not at all? Remember doing something like this last week? Yeah? What do you do? So this is not right. To fix it a little bit. And so that's my hint. If you need more hint, tell me. I'll try to give you more hints. You need more hints? Okay. Do you have it in your notes though, what we did with the, what did I call it? This was a whole discussion about linear versus... Yeah, it was about that. It was about a whole bunch of other things. Can you make the connection? Linear versus non-linear? Or if this were linear, then maybe you could just do that. It's not linear. Or another way of saying it is squares and cubic terms. Did I talk about it? No, I didn't. Maybe I didn't talk about it at all. That's true. Maybe I didn't. Could have completely forgotten to talk about it. And so I'll talk about it now, then. If I know the linear relationship, then I can figure out the square or the cubic relationship quite easily. And that is, I know the mile relationship. 1 mile is equivalent to, is exactly 5,280 feet. But this is for linear. Now, if I want cubic, I'll just cube the whole thing. When I cube the whole thing, what that means is this is 5,280 cubed, feet cubed, divided by 1 cubed, miles cubed. That's the rules for, do you remember the rules for exponents? Or you have to square everything, or you have to cube everything in the parentheses. So that's what we do. And so what is 5,280 cubed? Well, I don't need to calculate right now, but let me just go ahead and do it. 5,280 cubed. Would be, what is it? It would be 14,719.7, something like that. 14 billion cubic feet per cubic mile. Is that what you guys got? Well, I'm not going to calculate it now. So this is what we do for cube. If it were square, we do the same kind of thing. In fact, on your math, in the supplement, you have a problem where you have to convert from square inches to square centimeters or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but you'll see this type of problem in your supplement. And so here we're going to go from cubic miles into cubic feet. But where can we go from cubic feet? This is cubic feet of seawater. Is there something that relates cubic feet of seawater to something else? Okay, well, not seawater, but we can go from miles to inches. But do you know how many inches are in a mile? Oh, feet. Yeah, we can go from feet to inches, or we can go from feet to yards. So this is like if you're lost in the jungle, you come up to a fork. One fork says go feet to yards, the other fork says go feet to inches. Which would you pick? Feet to inches? Or maybe it's a coin toss. If it's a coin toss and we got, okay, let's go to yards. I'm gonna pick yards. And so then we get to cubic yards. Then where can you go from cubic yards? From yards I could go to maybe a football field, 100 yards per football field. Or I could go from yards to feet, but if I go yards to feet, then I'm just going in circles, going backwards. And so that's kind of a dead end, right? And so then that's okay. I'll just go back and then pick the other path. The other path would be to go from feet to inches. And so, well, I don't know how many cubic inches are in a cubic foot. Do you? No, but you know the linear one. The linear one is what? Yeah, 12 inches is exactly 1 foot, and then to get the cubic, you would cube it. And so it'd be 144 times 12. 1,000 something. You know? And so I don't, do I have a map, where I know where I'm going? No, I don't know where I'm going. I just keep going, one step at a time. And sometimes you'll get stopped. If you get lucky, you'll pick the right path. But it doesn't matter. I don't care if I go the wrong path either. If I have enough time. And so why don't you keep going here and finish this, or try to finish this off.